Hello, I'm Richard Hooper and this is SatTV Week. Now I'm pleased to be joined by Dave Rehbehn of Hughes. Dave, thanks for joining us today. We've spoken many times before, but in the last 6 months, Hughes have been announcing a number of major contracts. Why are you so successful?
Richard, it's a real pleasure to see you again. And boy, we've had a lot of announcements recently. Why we've been successful, I think it's because we're pretty good at what we do. There's so many announcements, I don't know where to start, but let me start with the Jupiter system. We announced some significant enhancements to the Jupiter system. So our modems are supporting 300 megabits of throughput. We can support 16,000 simultaneous sessions, and those two things speak to the ability of our Jupiter system to be able to support things like Wi-Fi hotspots and cellular backhaul. We've had a number of other announcements regarding the Jupiter system, including support for Layer 2, which is really important for being able to integrate with terrestrial networks. And we also announced support for global roaming as part of our mobility platform.
Now, I saw the demonstration yesterday of the Hotspots. How are they going to be utilised? What's so special about those? Because they're quite exciting.
It's actually very exciting. We had a number of announcements related to hotspots. We announced a number of advancements with some of our partners, PSN, Pacific Satellite Nusantara in Indonesia, as well as KB Iskra and Ultragrosky in Russia, where they have used the Jupiter platform to deploy community Wi-Fi, and they reach thousands and if not millions of people with the platform. And we also announced partnership with Facebook for Brazil and Mexico, and we intend to take that even further. And what makes it so exciting is that Wi-Fi is a really effective way to reach people who cannot afford the subscriber payment for their own VSAT. So we think it's really an effective way to reach developing parts of the world.
Now, everybody talks about the digital divide. You know, we're talking about broadband and we're talking about the wireless. Are we actually bridging this divide?
Big time. In fact, another job that we haven't announced, but we made reference to yesterday, is with a number of service providers in a very large country in Southeast Asia, where the country has a very strong digital divide program, and the Hughes Jupiter system is being used by all the service providers in that program. We'll soon be having an announcement on that.
Okay. Now, these are quite uncertain times in the satellite sector. What are the challenges for Hughes moving forward?
I think that the challenges for Hughes is really to extend ourselves even further internationally. In the U.S. And in fact in the Americas, particularly in Brazil, we've done really well. We have over 1.3 million subscribers across the HughesNet service area. But as we extend ourselves internationally into more developing parts of the world, the challenge is going to be, how do we reach the people who cannot afford $50, $60 a month for a subscriber line? And that's, again, where the community Wi-Fi becomes really important, plus cellular backhaul. So those are really the challenges, and that's why we're so focused on those two areas in particular.
Now, satellite for use for cellular backhaul and community projects has always been considered expensive, but that's changing. What is the true perception now?
I think it's changing because, obviously, of HTS. And what the perception is, I think you'd have to speak to the government officials and whatnot, but what I can tell you is we've seen a big increase in government digital divide programs. And I think that what is driving it is the cost efficiency of the high throughput satellites combined with the performance of platforms such as the Jupiter system.
Regarding the new advent of LEO constellations, is that a game changer for the satellite industry?
I think it's more of an evolution. We're very excited about non-GEO constellations, whether it's LEO or MEO. And of course, we're a participant in the OneWeb constellation we've invested, and we're also a major supplier of the gateway stations. And the gateway stations are really powerful. They support more than 10,000 handovers a second, which is really incredible stuff. But our view on NGSO and GEO is that they are complementary. GEO, HTS, can lay down high amount of capacity or capacity density to really tailor the coverage to where people are. And it will do it at, we think, the lowest possible cost per bit and the lowest possible cost per terminal. Whereas the NGSO, LEO and MEO, provide the coverage that is more challenging with the GEO-HTS. So we think the two are very complementary, and our view of the future is that systems, terminals will be able to provide hybrid GEO-HTS and LEO-MEO.
Now, another interesting bit of news, which you can elaborate on, is you signed a contract with Eutelsat.
That's right. We're really excited about it. We signed a contract with Eutelsat for the Connect satellite. We think that that's a real endorsement of the Jupiter system by a world-class satellite operator. They did a very careful evaluation of the marketplace, and they said, man, that Jupiter system, it provides the performance, the efficiency, and it has the flexibility or ability to address many market segments, and that's really what they were looking for. So we're really excited and thrilled to be working with Eutelsat.
So how are Eutelsat going to use it?
I think it's best to ask Eutelsat that question, but we anticipate that it's going to be a variety of services that they will implement using the Jupiter system.
Dave, thank you very much.
A pleasure, Richard. Really enjoyable to see you again.